So I got back to mine, took off the jacket. Just as I'm hanging it up, I look on the back. It says "Property of Garth Crooks."
So where have you got that?
So that's the mystery. Find that out next week. Welcome back, all. This is the Two Deep Voices podcast.
Welcome, everyone.
Back up and running once again. A few things to discuss here, Carl. A lot's been happening in the football world recently.
What's the first subject?
Most significant one is the England squad.
Yeah.
Recently announced by Gareth Southgate, our leader, Lord and Saviour.
Mm-hmm.
What are your instant reactions to it?
Gary Cahill.
Cale's back in.
How did Cahill get in?
I'll tell you how Cale got in. On a wing and a prayer.
I think Chris Smalling must be really, really annoyed.
This would have been Chris Smalling's big World Cup. He's not. I think he played at. I think he went to Euro 2012.
But didn't play.
But didn't play. We had Lescott at centre back then. I think it was Lescott and Terry at centre back then.
Yeah, that sounds right. How many appearances did he get this season?
Chris Smalling. Yeah, they made at least 30. At least 30. He had a brief time out injured, but they've done at least 30.
Yeah. And Cahill came back at the end of the season.
And got dropped as well.
Yeah.
It's not like Cahill got injured and stayed out. He got dropped as well as being
In a poor season for Chelsea.
in a season where they whimpered away from their title challenge. I think it's rubbish that Chris Smalling's not got in that squad.
Yeah, it is a shame. I think that was the only contentious one I thought. I think, for the most part, he's stuck to his guns, hasn't he? He's gone off form.
Yeah, more or less. Loftus-Cheek was a weird one that I saw. I wasn't expecting Loftus-Cheek to get in.
Yeah.
I've not watched a lot of Palace this season.
Sky Source has got that one right, hasn't he?
Yeah, but bloody hell. When you think of who Palace's best players were, it was Zaha and probably Milivojevic.
Yeah, I don't know. Loftus-Cheek did get a bit of recognition.
He did at the start of the season, like first half, and then he got his England cap. And I honestly, I haven't heard from him.
No, I don't know. But like you say, in truth, when you watch Palace, it was all Zaha, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But they must have been doing something right under Hodgson. And I can't say I was really watching Palace every week.
No, I wasn't. And he was good. Loftus-Cheek was good when he played for England, when he made his debut.
Yeah.
But it's a different story in that big international world.
Yeah, it is.
It's a really different story. I think the lack of international experience is like, even Harry Kane's our big hope. But Harry Kane, I hope he does brilliantly, but Jamie Vardy's probably a slightly more impressive international player than Harry Kane so far. Kane's had a couple of Champions League campaigns now, did well in this one. And I don't know, you just hope that it can, that class will tell over experience, but it rarely does at international tournaments.
It's quite terrifying how the best part of the team for England is all through the attacking force.
Yeah.
It's all Kane, Vardy, Rashford. There's so much reliance on those guys, isn't there? And then the midfield is just, I don't know, the midfield is really going to struggle, I think.
We've been shafted by injuries in the midfield. The fact, like Oxlade-Chamberlain would have walked into the midfield this season.
Yeah, that's a big pro, that.
There's Eric Dyer, and I have to say, I'm not sure what Eric Dyer's specialty is. There's Jordan Henderson, and I think, I've been saying this recently to a couple of people, I've never been his biggest fan, but if you get to the Champions League final, then you should probably be getting in your national team. If there's no absolute choke against Madrid, which I don't expect there to be. I expect Madrid to win, but I don't expect anyone to really collapse at Liverpool. Then I'd go Henderson on merit. Deserves to be there.
Yeah, Henderson's been alright this season. I think you can't help in a World Cup compare the English team to the top international teams, can you?
After a bit, we will stop, though. Yeah, I think we'll stop. After another maybe 20 years, we'll go, oh, yeah.
We're not quite there.
Let's compare ourselves to the Netherlands or Serbia, Croatia.
Yeah. But I think at the minute, I guess it's because we live in a country which has such a top competitive league.
Yeah, it's because all the good players play in the Premier League, but then you forget that of the Premier League's best 20 players, probably this season 3 have been English: Sterling, Walker, and Kane. Probably 3.
Yeah.
Mate, I don't know if Lingard's been top. Lingard's not been top 20. I think Lingard will be good for England now. I think he's a good player for England.
Yeah.
I hope Ali does a decent job at this World Cup. I actually wouldn't put Ali in my starting 11 for England now.
Would you not?
No.
Who would you play instead?
So, well, I would have the whole team. I would go Jordan Pickford in net. I would have Trippier right wing back, similar to what Southgate's done. Trippier right wing back, Walker at centre back, with John Stones, and I would have to do Gary Cahill because Chris Smalling's not there. I would have Ashley Young at left back, at left wing back, probably to get replaced after a while if he gets knackered.
Yeah.
Then in midfield, I would go Dyer and Henderson, and then I'd have Lingard in front of the two of them, and then up front, I would go Sterling and Kane. So it's almost identical to what Southgate did. I forget who it was against. We had a friendly.
Netherlands.
It was either Netherlands or Italy. Who was the first one? Netherlands was the first one. Yeah, it was that one. It's really, really similar to the team formation that you put out there, with the exception that Young would start at left wing back. I would do that. I would go Sterling up front, definitely.
I think you have to play Lingard.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you have to play Lingard. I think I would just play Rose instead. I think Rose is more attacking. And I think
he's a lot quicker.
I think if you have 2 sitters, which we can't afford not to do, he'll have to play Dyer and Henderson.
Yeah, for sure.
We need attacking fullbacks because otherwise we're just going to have nothing when we go forward. Yeah. It's going to be similar to what happened in Iceland when we had absolutely no idea what to do with the ball.
Yeah.
The fullbacks have to be attacking.
I wonder, I'd really love to see if Trent Alexander-Arnold, similar to Henderson, if he comes through the Champions League final against Cristiano Ronaldo and he acquits himself well, I would go, stick him in there ahead of Trippier. Trippier's a great player, though, Trippier's a really, really good right back.
He's been impressive.
I think Trippier's the 3rd best right back in the league. I think it's Walker, Valencia, Kieran Trippier.
Just behind Valencia?
Yeah. I think Trippier's been a fantastic centre back. Right back, sorry.
Yeah, he is. He's good.
But I don't know. I don't see Ali starting. Gareth Southgate seems to agree. Don't really see him starting for England.
Yeah. And what you do have to say about Southgate is he's rolling up his sleeves and he's doing the best with the generation of players that we actually have at the minute.
Yeah, definitely.
He's experimenting with the teams in the friendlies. And it seems as though he's getting them to play some quite decent stuff.
Yeah, and he doesn't have Scholes, Gerrard or Lampard.
Yeah, he's not working with that.
So, I suppose, to be honest, to a degree, no one really expects Gareth Southgate to do a lot. Roy Hodgson still had Steven Gerrard. Still had Wayne Rooney. But Gareth Southgate has, through some of his own doing, said to Wayne Rooney, no, you're not going to be playing. You're certainly not going to be starting.
Yeah.
So Rooney's, exited stage left. Yeah. So he doesn't have any of these superstars anymore.
No, he's the first English manager I can remember who seems to have the burden of pressure taken off his shoulders.
Yeah.
Which must be quite nice for him.
I think so, yeah. With 2 seemingly straightforward games to start off with.
Yeah, you would hope so.
This should be. Goodness me, this should be. I couldn't name a Panamanian player.
No.
Couldn't name a Tunisian. I don't think I could name a Tunisian in football history.
You just have to win those games. Just win those games and then you can have a crack at Belgium.
Yeah, it's finished. You get 6 points in the group stages, it's over.
Like, it comes at a good time. Like, it's better to play Belgium on the 3rd game.
Yeah, definitely.
You just got to win those first 2 games.
Yeah. But it's always that simple, and it's never that simple.
Yeah. If they go into the Belgium game needing some points, then that's curtains.
Unless Belgium need points as well.
Yeah.
Because I suppose the benefit with Belgium is that they do, I don't know, Roberto Martinez is a slightly more experienced manager than Gareth Southgate, but he's still, with all due respect, it's still Roberto Martinez. So it's not like they've got so many insane individual players.
And it's still Belgium.
We know that as England fans, we know that having amazing individual players doesn't always mean that you're a good international side. So you'd hope that, it relies on Eden Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku, Dries Mertens, all choking at the same time. But, weirder things have probably happened.
Yeah.
Brazil, Germany was probably a weirder thing in 2014.
I'd have Coulthard in net, though.
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, it's just, but I think it'll be amazing if we can even blame England's World Cup exit on goalkeepers. That'd be good.
We will try.
Give it a go. Rob Green will tell you about that.
Yeah.
Rob Green will tell you about that, even though we drew 0-0 with Algeria in that same World Cup.
Yeah.
Rob Green will go, yeah, I got blamed for that. I got blamed because we drew 1-1 with the USA. We would have only won 1-0 anyway.
Yeah.
Still got through, though. Still got through to the knockouts against Germany, which was where we got drummed.
Yeah.
And did
Was that
David James played against Germany? Did he? Because there was that Podolski effort that he found.
Was that the Lampard game?
Yeah, crossbar. Yeah, it was. Wow. So that's how it goes. Who would you bring into the England squad that isn't in there? Who would you swap, if anyone?
Smalling.
Smalling in for Kale?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think of Harry Maguire's presence? And if you're not happy, who would you replace him with?
I don't know. He's done okay this season. I'm just never fully convinced by him. I don't know whether he's international level.
He looks a bit of a liability. He just looks a bit erratic.
He seems brash. Like, he comes storming out of his position, and if you do that at international level, you're going to get picked off.
Yeah, eventually, definitely will, by any team that can counter.
And maybe that is what he's thinking with Cahill. Because at least with Cahill, he's Captain Block.
Captain Block, Mr. Blockerama. That guy will get in the way, won't he?
It's sort of like, yeah, I don't know. He's not the worst person to bring in, Gary Cahill.
No.
He'll do his job.
I was surprised that Phil Jones got in and Chris Smalling didn't. I know Phil Jones is younger, but I don't know that Chris Smalling is a less accomplished centre-back than Phil Jones. They're pretty similar. But I thought that you would have included both of them. But I don't know. I don't know if either of them has come out of this season looking better than the other.
I think Phil Jones has this rep about him, though, that he's still going to grow into something. Do you know what I mean? He's still going to grow into this big player.
Maybe this is his tournament to do it. Alex Ferguson said he was a future England captain.
Yeah, there you go.
England captain, man. Never mind Man United captain. I feel bad for Jamie Vardy because after the season he's had, again, he's just not going to start because there's just not room. Like, if you want to cover yourself defensively, there's no room to have Raheem Sterling, who, by the way, let the record show, was outscored by Jamie Vardy this season. Vardy did pip him at the last. But Danny Welbeck won't be playing, will he?
I think it's probably worth saying that I do take back about what I said about Vardy before the season started.
Well, you didn't do it on air, so it doesn't matter.
But for those of you listening, I didn't think Vardy was going to have a good season.
He was bitter.
Prove me wrong.
He was bitter because he didn't go to Arsenal.
Yeah, that must have been it.
You wanted him to fail.
Subconscious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welbeck will not be playing. He won't kick a ball.
No, he won't. He won't kick a ball. I don't think Fabian Delph's going to kick many balls. I think Dyer and Henderson are going to be the central midfielders.
Yeah, they will be. I don't know. I'd quite like to see Delph maybe get a game ahead of Dyer.
Yeah, Delph's great. I think Delph's a great player.
He's a good footballer.
I just don't think he will play.
No.
Maguire will play.
I don't like Eric Dyer. I don't know what it is.
It's because he doesn't look to have a specialism.
No.
He's not particularly agile. He's not fast off the ball. He's not incredibly physical. He scored a free kick against Russia.
He can score free kicks.
Once. But Rashford will take free kicks now. Or Kane.
The less set that, the better.
Yeah.
Who was our free kick taker?
It won't matter.
Jeez.
It won't matter. Kane will take him.
Like John Stones take one.
Young scored a few. 15 years ago.
I know you want Young on him.
I just want Young on the pitch. It's his first World Cup.
The Young fan. I know it is.
Big deal. Big deal. I reckon that's the last thing. He's not going to win a Champions League. So he's won the Premier League. He moved from Watford to Villa, then from Villa to United, won the Premier League a couple of times. And then he goes, sweet. Now, in fact, has he won the Premier League? I think he's won the Premier League once. Actually, I think he's won one.
Back in the United
12-13.
Yeah.
It was Ferguson's last season. I think that's the only one he's won. Yeah. And I think ditto for David Day. I think he's only won one. But this is Young's crown jewel. This is the the crowning glory to be able to play in an England World Cup.
I think Kyle Walker will have a really good tournament. Yeah. I think this guy is destined for pretty big things.
Yeah, he's too far ahead of everyone else. He's you would probably say he's England's best player.
Yeah, him and Kane, but Kane hasn't done anything for England.
No.
But Walker just, I don't know, Walker just looks like an absolute animal.
Yeah, he does. He does. He looks like he can do everything.
I think, another few years' time down the line, you'll probably be looking at him as one of the best Premier League right backs.
Yeah, without a doubt. And on that subject, who do you think is the best Premier League right back?
Of all time.
Yeah, well, the best 11 of all time.
Best 11, right back, I would go Ivanovic.
Yeah, correct.
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Ivanovic, to me, was the best right back and the best centre back in the league at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would go Ivanovic. He just became super, super solid for about 6 solid seasons
Yeah.
for Chelsea.
Yeah, he was instrumental only for Chelsea. He was such a utility man as well. He was just, he was hard, man. He was a tough guy.
Yeah.
Tough guy. He was massive, man. He was like a barrel. It's like a barrel.
But he wasn't when he first came, was it?
No. It was like Vidic when he first came.
Yeah.
He was a bit diminutive. But yeah, he was a hell of a presence in for a few years.
Yeah.
Who would you go in there?
De Gea.
David De Gea, yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah, I don't think there's... The only people who argue are people who say Peter Schmeichel.
I think that one's easy.
Yeah, I think that's easy now.
Yeah.
And it will always become easier. Who are your centre-backs?
My centre-backs, I've gone Vidic and John Terry.
Interesting. So I've done Vidic.
Yeah.
But when I do centre-backs, it varies who I start with, but I always do Ferdinand and Vidic. Because I do one, I go Ferdinand. And then I think, do you know what, though? Vidic at his peak was better than Ferdinand at his peak. Ferdinand just had a longer like, prime. But those two, I've never seen anything like that before.
They were definitely the best partnership I've ever seen.
They were mad, man. They were absolutely mad. They were like, I think they were as important to United's sustained period of winning leagues as Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, David Beckham. Honestly, those guys were just... You could have given Alex Ferguson £1 billion and said you can have whatever centre-backs you want, and he'd have gone, yeah, got them.
Yeah.
You can have your £1 billion back. Those guys are just ferocious at centre-back together.
Hard to argue with that, really.
But you've got John Terry.
John Terry.
Most people do have John Terry.
Mad experience campaign.
The man that he's won. To be in that many title winning sides, and Champions League winning sides, and Europa League and FA Cup.
And was always there when Chelsea became a title winning team.
Yeah, he was there the whole time, yeah. He was there the whole time. They left, and then they...
and Mourinho absolutely loved him, man.
Yeah, he was like a little flipping lieutenant, wasn't he?
Little teacher's pet. Left back, easiest one.
Easiest one, yeah. Ashley Cole. Say no more. The
Best
guy
left back was been.
Yeah, I don't see anyone getting near Ashley Cole.
I don't know what it was. Probably the fact that no one got the better of him.
Yeah, not even Ronaldo.
Yeah.
He was just super consistent, wasn't
he? 9 out of 10s every game.
Yeah, every single game.
Every game.
Fast.
The whole season.
And he was an all-rounder as well, man.
Yeah.
Fast, agile, amazing positional awareness.
Yeah. But get
didn't even need to be big and strong because his position was so good.
But defensively, probably the best left back I've seen.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know who you would compare defensively because I thought Patrice Evra was a really good Premier League left back, but he was a bit like Marcelo and Jordi Alba, not to as extreme a degree, but he didn't have to defend nearly as much as Ashley Cole defended. Patrice Evra was just like I just remember Patrice Evra running with the ball. I remember him running with the ball and getting forward and getting assists, but I don't remember him for his defensive work nearly as much as Ashley Cole.
Yeah.
So that's an easy one. Midfield, I guess we're going to be pretty similar here.
Yeah, who have you gone for?
Gerrard and Scholes.
Yeah.
David Silva.
Silva, nice. I did think of Silva.
It's impossible to ignore David Silva to me because he is the best attacking midfielder I've ever seen in England.
Yeah. You see, I went Gerrard, Scholes because I think you have to have those two. But I wanted to put a more defensive midfielder.
Yeah, you see, I've kind of cheated and imagined that Gerrard and Scholes would be defending, but of course it'd be a bit of a waste.
But I guess when you're picking the team of the year, you don't necessarily have to do that.
No, they don't have to play together.
But in this scenario, I've gone for Vieira.
Yeah, see, that makes sense. As far as influence goes,
that guy would just control the game, man.
He was a strange player. He was like I don't even know who he was like.
He was too technically good to be a defensive midfielder,
Yeah.
which is why he would make forward runs.
He was like Busquets and Yaya Toure in one player.
Bizarre player, man. I've never seen anyone else close to being comparable to him.
Nah, he was freaky, man.
He would crack. He would crack balls crossbar in. He would chip keepers
with his left foot.
He would spray passes and just control the midfield.
Yeah,
yeah. He was an insane player. Man.
He was an insane player. He was an insane player. There's no team in Premier League history that Patrick Vieira wouldn't get into.
Yeah.
Ever in history, he would get into City's team last season. He would get into any of United's teams, any of Chelsea's teams. Yeah. He was a freak.
But having said that, so was David Silva. David Silva, sorry.
Yeah, and still for at least another season. Now, strikers will almost be in agreement, but I've got one relative wild card. So I've gone Luis Suarez.
Oh, nice.
So I think he did 3 seasons in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But he was so good for those 3. It's similar to Vidic. Vidic did a lot longer, but Luis Suarez's peak was so much better than anyone else when he was at his peak. Or when he was in the Premier League full stop, I put him in because he was just... there was a season where it took him a bit of adjustment and there was a bit of a joke about Suarez always hits the bar. And it was like, if Suarez scored instead of hitting the woodwork, he'd be top scorer. And then he was top scorer. And that season, so the season that he set the record that Salah's just broken, when he scored 31, he got 12 assists in that season.
Yeah, he was a freak.
He was second highest assists. He was absolutely unplayable. He would pick the ball up anywhere and dribble. But then it got to the point in his last season where he went, I don't need to dribble, I'll shoot instead. And was scoring hat-tricks against Norwich, where 2 were from 35 yards out.
Yeah, all types of goals. And...
He was doing too much, man. Because there was a point where it was the season that Liverpool always won the league, the famous Gerrard slipping season.
Yeah.
That I was living in France watching it, and it was David Moyes at United. So I was thinking, bloody hell, this is disgusting to watch because I'm watching United plummet from grace as champions as well. United won the league the season before at a canter. And I'm watching Liverpool just rise from the ashes with Brendan Rodgers. We were laughing at them having Andy Carroll before because they signed Carroll and Suarez in the same transfer window. And then suddenly, I was watching Suarez and thinking, this is absolutely incredible. Anything that he played against, he would rip to shreds. He got a ban for... I'm trying to remember which ban it was. I think it was Patrice Evra. It was the racially abusing Evra ban.
Yeah.
He got that. No, was it? No. It was the Ivanovic ban. He bit Ivanovic. Got banned for 8 games, and then after that finished top scorer. He was an absolute animal. I've never seen anything like him in the Premier League.
Yeah, you can't really argue with that.
He was too much, man.
That's a weird disciplinary thing that you used to have going on.
Well, yeah, he's just a loose cannon. You see it for Barca. He's still a bit wired sometimes.
But you're right, man. When he was at Liverpool, he was insane. It's a bit like Salah this season. Where Liverpool play and you expect him to score.
Yeah.
That's what Suarez was like, man. But he was scoring mad types of goals. Yeah. The Norwich games always stand out in my mind as well.
You expect him to be man of the match as well. You expect him to be the best player on the pitch. Yeah. Or I remember I don't know if you remember this. We were at do you remember Aiden's house?
Yeah.
We were at his house when Sunderland were playing Liverpool. And we all went downstairs to watch
it. Yeah, in the living room.
He scored this goal where he comes in from the right-hand side, byline, and bangs it with his toe straight in.
Yeah, I remember.
And I remember him hitting that and thinking, why have you hit that ball? Even after it had gone in, I was annoyed that he'd hit it. And there was just a spell of him doing that, a spell of about 18 months, where he would just take anything on, or he'd go past you when it makes no sense to go past you. And if Suarez isn't going to score, he'll get an assist.
Yeah.
Every single game, it was ludicrous. Yeah. So he gets in there for me.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that's well argued.
Then Sergio Aguero.
Yeah, I've got him
because that's the best South American player to ever play in England. Sergio Aguero
for a long old time.
He's probably the best South American apart from Messi to play most of his career outside South America. That guy's been a superstar since he was about 20, and he hasn't slowed down. And he's got injured all the time.
And bounces back.
And bounces back every time. Strolls back as if he was never hurt. Oh, I need to score now. Do I need to score this game?
What's
You
he
don't
done
need
here at
to.
City now? 8 years?
This will be his eighth
This will be
season.
his eighth,
This
yeah.
one coming. Freak, man.
Yeah. And again, just mad consistency. Goals every season.
I think behind Brazilian Ronaldo, Aguero is the best injured player ever.
Mm.
The best player post-injury, post-serious injury, or post a succession of injuries
Yeah.
in history. He's just a freak. So he's a no-brainer, really.
Yeah.
And then another no-brainer, unless you're a Spurs fan. I think even if you are a Spurs fan, is Thierry Henry.
You have to admit it, don't you?
No Alan Shearer. I've not got Alan Shearer.
No, I haven't got Shearer.
Because I think I suffer from this little European romance thing where we kind of refuse to accept, the only that we've got 4 English players in this squad, but we kind of refuse to accept because of the type of player that Shearer was. We refuse to accept that he could have been better than a continental player, even though he scored more.
But I think we also saw Shearer more towards the back end of his career
when he was an old brute, going bald and whacking it in and having like hairy arms and that. That's what I remember of Alan Shearer.
Yeah, our generation were just missing out on him, really. Like, you can remember him, but you would still never put him down as one of the greatest.
No.
Especially because he was playing for Newcastle as well. And when you're that age watching football, you can never imagine someone who's playing for a team that isn't challenging for the league to be one of the best.
No.
You just can't do it. You can't, separate an individual player in a lesser team being one of the greatest.
No, never. Even when Newcastle were better.
Yeah.
Even when
they were challenging for 4 for Liverpool.
Yeah. They went for Newcastle nearly won a league. The Kevin Keegan season.
Yeah.
Nearly won the league.
But that wasn't our days, was it?
Oh Christ, no, definitely not. Yeah, they were Champions League.
Yeah. Back in the day, they were insane.
Yeah, it's true, but I don't know. Yeah, it's just for that reason, and I suppose players like Shearer's compared to Harry Kane, or vice versa, Kane compared to Shearer a lot. Players like Suarez, Aguero, and Henry, particularly Suarez and Henry, they were more flair players.
Yeah.
So they obviously catch your eye more because Alan Shearer scored that volley against Everton, which is outstanding, and he scored. Was it against Villa? He scored a side foot. Do you know the one on the volley? Ball comes right across the box diagonally, and he side foots it first time right into the top left-hand corner.
Yeah.
Scored those 2 great goals, but Thierry Henry scored the famous run against Spurs. He scored the flick and 180 spin against Bartes. Those 2 goals alone, for better or for worse, Alan Shearer wouldn't have been able to score those goals. And it's that flair that makes someone stick out in your mind. All the best players ever. It's very rare that anyone goes, "Oh, best striker, Miroslav Klose."
Yeah, and Henry played in the Untouchables, not the Invincibles, sorry.
Yeah, an iconic Premier League team.
That just does so much, doesn't it? Aguero is still playing in this Man City team today.
Yeah, Aguero's won.
Suarez went on to go to Barca and still kick on straight away.
Yeah, without dropping it.
No break-in period. He just went, bang, I'm going to be top scorer in this league now as well.
Suarez is a weird player. He's the best Uruguayan player of all time, isn't he?
But on flair players, that's why I play in Cristiano Ronaldo instead of Suarez.
Yeah, you see, I was thinking Ronaldo, but well, I don't know. You see, I'm biased because I remember I was watching United non-stop when Ronaldo was there, so I obviously remember him being absolutely insane. But I don't know if I was just because he'd left the Premier League when I was. How old were we when he left? 15, 16? When he bounced?
How many years did he do at United?
2004.
Yeah.
Till 2000. Was it 3, 4? I think he joined in 2003 and left in 2009.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So 6 years.
But I just remember this guy being super, super young.
Yeah, and he was insane. Like, he did set records in the Suarez's 31 goal record was first set by Ronaldo.
But the thing is, it was so noticeable that this guy was clearly going to be like one of the best players ever.
Yeah.
Whilst he was at United.
I remember it being obvious. In his first season, United played Millwall in the FA Cup final, won the FA Cup. And in that final, Ronaldo played, he had these gold boots on, these gold night boots, and like these little daft, noodly blonde highlights, and like white ankle tape. And I can just remember thinking, this guy is like the best player on the pitch.
Yeah.
And he was 18 or something, and 19.
I've got a similar memory. It's 2004, I think.
Yeah.
And United were playing away at Craven Cottage.
Yeah.
And I think it was either 1-1 or 0-0. And Ronaldo gets on the left-hand side because he was more of a winger, wasn't
he? Yeah, left wing.
And he cuts in and just drives at these Fulham players, and they don't know what to do. He just puts it on his right and cracks it in the bottom corner.
Oh, yeah, like right along the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
And I just remember thinking, this is what this guy does now.
Yeah.
Like, this is like one of the best players ever, and he just wins games for United now.
Yeah.
And it's Man United. And Man United win leagues.
And they're winning the league every season, like the Champions League.
And just to be that age and, like, doing that consistently.
Yeah, because he was 20... What would he have been now? How old? So he joined Madrid in 9... He would have been, like, 26 when he left United.
Yeah.
So he was no older than 25 doing all those exploits.
Yeah.
He's 33 now, isn't
he? Yeah, 33, I think. 32 or 33.
I think he's 3. I'm sure he's 3. And if he is, then that's what? 9 years. Yeah, so he'd have been 24. 24 when he left United.
When he left United.
So yeah, you think how young he was when he was. He scored 42 goals in one season,
yeah.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Second to last season. So yeah, I think it's really hard to make. It's quite difficult to make a case for Suarez against Ronaldo because Ronaldo was one of the best players ever in the Premier League, and I accept that he was. But I've just tried to stick 3 centre forwards in.
No, that's fine.
Because Suarez was just a bizarre guy. I love watching highlights of Suarez while he was in Liverpool, which is weird to say. Because I have really unhappy memories of when he was at Liverpool because he was so good. But now I look back and think, yeah, they didn't win the league, so I can enjoy it.
Liverpool strikers?
Yeah.
They're frightening. Because you could easily put Torres in.
Where would you put Torres this season? He's obviously leaving Atletico.
Oh, where would he go?
Where do you think he'll go? Where would you have him go? If you could wave a wand and you get to put Torres at a club of your choosing, where would you send him?
I don't think he can go to a big league. I don't think he's got it in him.
Physically?
Yeah, physically. I'm not sure.
It would be unusual, wouldn't it?
He was really struggling at Atletico this season.
Yeah, he was. I think he scored 5 goals.
Yeah,
4 goals, 5 goals.
4 or 5. Like, you can't go to England.
Nah, it's too tough. It's too hard.
He'd be off the pace, man.
It's too hard, man. The guy would just be injured out all season.
Unless he goes to Italy.
He's been there, hasn't
he? Yeah, I mean, Italy seems to be the only one that maybe he could get away with. But, where would he go?
I don't know. He played for Milan, didn't he, for a season or 2? He was on loan there for a bit from Chelsea. Didn't happen. So it'd have to be lower down than, well, Milan, I don't know, Milan are like, about as good as they were when he left.
What are Lazio like now?
Good question. They finished about 6th. Well, It's not finished yet, actually. They've got 1 game left.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably America, yeah. That's where everyone seems to go now.
I think so. Speaks good English.
Yeah.
Hell of a career he's had. Hell of a career. But yeah, Liverpool strikers. Liverpool probably are the best strikers in the Premier League. If you had to have a little sub list of strikers, they've had Fowler, Owen, Torres, Suarez, Salah. I'm counting him as a striker, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, definitely.
That's 5 absolutely solid strikers. If I had to do the same for anyone else, like Chelsea, you go Drogba. I don't really know if I could put Costa in there yet.
You put Zola there?
Maybe. I don't really watch him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember his goal, his back heel. But I don't know. Chelsea haven't got... Anelka, I'd say Anelka.
For Chelsea?
Not for Chelsea, but
as a striker.
He did finish top scorer 1 season for him when they won the league. But yeah, I suppose it was over the course of his whole career rather than specifically in Chelsea, wasn't it? Mutu.
I wonder what the stats are on Liverpool's away record in comparison to playing at Anfield.
It must be dreadful.
Because they always look so frightening at Anfield. They look like a completely different team.
It must be poor because they haven't won a league. They haven't won the Premier League. Yeah. And they've always been good at Anfield.
They just must be a dreadful away team. But yeah, I don't know. Watching that City game in the Champions League.
Yeah, man.
Yeesh.
Yeah, that was a pretty serious statement. But
yeah, it was.
a more serious statement is playing in the Champions League final itself, innit?
Against Madrid.
Against the Champions League team.
With the players that have all won it 3 times each.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure you can do much there.
How do you see it going?
Score?
Yeah.
I think probably 2-1 Madrid.
Yeah.
I don't think this slam them because I don't think you really get battered in a Champions League final, do you? Unless you Juve last season. But they didn't really get battered for a while. It was only the last 20 minutes when it really, really ramped up, didn't it? When Juve went, oh, for fuck's sake.
But I think that's what Madrid do. You know? When it's showtime, they play a solid game.
Yeah, they never let up, do they?
Like,
they don't chill for the last 20 minutes.
They can play strong attacking football for 90 minutes. Like, you might have a period against them, and Liverpool will definitely have one. Like, they'll have like a solid 20 minutes, like where they're knocking on the door. But I don't know. I just think Ramos and Varane have been really impressive in the Champions League.
They've been fantastic in the Champions League. Against Juve, those two had one solid performance each in the first and second leg.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Those guys just seem primed and ready for the Champions League.
Yeah, they're waiting all season for it.
They do. Yeah, I don't know.
Like they know they're going to get to the final, so they gear it up. Ronaldo's recent form has been absolutely ridiculous. So I don't have the stats with me, but it's something like he scored 18 in his last 11 La Liga matches.
That's about right.
Bloody hell, man! And he's hardly play. It's not like he can get a lot of momentum in the league because he's hardly playing in many games.
Nah, plays one, rests one,
and still keeps up that stupid record. So yeah, I think 2-1. I think it'll be a good game. I don't think it'll be that wide open. I don't think it'll be so. It'll be like I reckon by the end of it, Liverpool fans will go, "Oh, we were unlucky. We had a case." But you're never really unlucky against Madrid in the Champions League because they're going to win.
They will win.
It doesn't really matter what happens.
They will win.
They get a pen, but that's just how it goes. It's the Champions League. It's their home.
I think it's 2-0 and Ronaldo gets one.
I hope he does get one. I hope he gets one. Do you know who else I hope gets a goal this season? Antoine Griezmann in his last game of the season. In probably his last game for Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Just because it takes him to 30 for the season. He's had a mental 2018, you know.
Yeah, because he was slow starting.
He was rubbish. He was rubbish at the start.
He was really slow starting.
I was checking this before. It's something like there have been 4 games in the league in 2018 that he's not either scored or assisted in. 4 whole games that he's not done one of the 2.
Yeah.
It's insane, that, isn't it? And that's how you go into a World Cup.
Yeah, and that's when you perform at a World Cup and you do get your big move.
Do you know what, though? I bet Jamie Vardy's not been far off that in 2018. He's had a good second half of the season, hasn't
he? Yeah.
Vardy, Griezmann. Swap. Vardy to Atletico. Griezmann to Leicester.
The King Power.
Claude Puel, French as well. So, connection.
Yeah.
Mahrez would stay. Leicester win the league.
Would he stay?
Yeah, he'd stay for Griezmann. Speaks French, doesn't he?
He'd get outshined by Griezmann, though.
Yeah, but you'd get to celebrate with him.
Mahrez still sees himself better than Vardy, doesn't
he? Yeah, he probably does. I think he probably does. Do you think Petr Cech will still be Arsenal's first choice keeper next season?
I think he will be, sadly.
It's not really working out for Petr, is it?
I don't know. He's like one of those keepers who doesn't know when to say enough's enough. I think this season was the first real indication that he's starting to lose his powers. Yeah,
but it was a serious indication as well. Like, there's all these stats floating around about errors leading to goals and errors leading to big chances.
Big errors.
And checkers, you never see those stats. Have never come out before. Yeah. I've never been aware of.
It's him and Hart, isn't it?
It's David James this season. I never knew those stats were being recorded until Petr Cech was leading them, and then it went. Can we talk about Cech, please, guys? Should we?
I don't think he's okay.
He's definitely not okay. Tell you what, do you reckon James Milner will get into the top 10 for Premier League appearances?
Where is he now?
He's 20 off. Well, he's not. He's 19 off. No, I tell a lie. He's 18 off.
He'll play next season.
Yeah, 18 games next season. But where will he play? What position? Because this is in the league, and they're signing. What's he called now? Keita. from Leipzig. He's arriving. So they'll have Wijnaldum,
And
Keita,
Shan will be back.
Chan, Henderson, Milner,
Ox.
Oxlade-Chamberlain comes back. Six central midfielders.
Yeah, he's not getting it.
No, that's a ball.
It's
he
a
can
shame.
just move though. He moves to someone else. Someone else will take him.
Yeah, and he wants to stay in England.
Newcastle. Get back to Newcastle for a triumphant reunion.
He's been incredible this season.
Yeah, he has been really good.
It's ridiculous. Boring James Milner comes back good and gets to play in a Champions League final.
And boring James Milner ends up with more Premier League appearances than Wayne Rooney. Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that. And John Terry.
Yeah, Jesus. Unless Villa get promoted. And Terry chips back away, gets to 500.
John, you sneaky devil.
And John Terry overtakes Jamie. In fact, John Terry becomes the all-time leading defender for appearances. He sneaks past Jamie Carragher.
Jamie Carragher.
As if he is.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it?
That is mad. But as if Phil Neville. Hang about, that's not true, is it?
Yeah.
Phil Neville made. Well, hang on, how many did Gary Neville make?
He's not even there.
So Gary Neville's not in the top 20 appearance makers. But Phil Neville is 9th.
I'll tell you what, Crouch did alright, didn't he?
Still is. Well, if he gets a move. Depends.
Did he not retire?
Did he?
I thought he retired at the end of the season.
Oh, I hope not. He's still active on this. Oh, but so's Carrick.
Yeah, but it says that Stoke City is still a Premier League football team then.
Sensitive subject.
Sorry, Stoke fan.
Catty. He's an Arsenal fan, so don't take that from him.
It's becoming a little running joke itself.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke. But what is a joke is that the FA Cup final is being overshadowed by the royal wedding this weekend.
Yeah.
Now listen,
London.
I would say congratulations to the happy couple on your royal nuptials, but the FA Cup is the oldest club cup competition in the world.
All those football fans that are going.
United are going to win the FA Cup.
By what score?
1-0.
United are going to win the FA Cup.
1-0.
It'll be 2-1 or something.
Hazard will be rubbish. Well, he won't be rubbish, but he just won't be allowed to play.
Chelsea just aren't as good as Man United.
Chris Smalling will get sent off though.
Yeah.
Because he's annoyed. And Phil Jones will put his arm around him and go, "It's all right, mate."
And he'll do the Salah celebration.
Yeah. Chris Smalling will score and get sent off. What about that?
In the last minute.
In an emotionally charged game at Wembley for his country. And he sings the national anthem before the game.
Bells it out.
He sings 3 lines on the shirt. And everyone's standing there going, "Here, we're doing a minute's silence for Ray Wilkins, you moron." And he goes, "No, we're not. I call him Butch. And we're doing the 3 lines."
You play for Chelsea, scum. Yeah, United will win.
So that's how I see it going. I don't know.
I think it's going to be a really dull game.
I think it probably will be a rubbish game.
But it's the FA Cup final.
It's always the FA Cup final, yeah. And I don't know. Like, if United can win 2 FA Cups in 3 years, it just feels different from when Moisey boy was around. And that was but Moyes was only about 10 months. Moyes didn't do a year in the job.
No, yeah, it's mad.
But it feels like he did a few years.
That's most Sislak for you, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Uncle Moisey. Where do you think he's going to end up?
Yeah, I don't know. It will be interesting.
He must have something lined up.
I wasn't expecting him to leave, you know?
No, he didn't get sacked.
Yeah, he just left on his own accord, hasn't he?
But I reckon, from the way that David Sullivan's been talking, it's because he's going, "Oh yeah, we've got a good candidate lined up." I think the conversation must have gone, "So, David, are you going to give me some money for transfers?" And David went, "Christ no. You don't get any money for transfers because you're Moisey."
Yeah.
So Moyes went, "Right, well, I'll cut my losses then, and he'll go somewhere else." But I don't know where the hell he is. Maybe he's going to be Guardiola's new assistant. Maybe he'll be Mourinho's new assistant instead of Rui Ferrier.
He gets to wear the Red Devil shirt again.
But otherwise, I can't think, unless he knows something that no one else does, that someone's going to get sacked early doors.
Unless he goes to the Leicester gig.
Oh, that'd be weird. That would be weird. Why? But why would Pure get sacked?
I don't know. There just seems to be a lot of noise around it, doesn't there?
Yeah, it seems like it's going to happen. And there's not normally smoke without fire in the UK sports media. Like, they were all swarming around Big Sam. Big Sam's going to get sacked soon? What? Yeah, probably. How do you know that? Sky sources. Between you and me.
Who are these sources?
2 days later.
It's Jim White, you know. It's Jim White.
Yeah.
His phone's going off and Premier League managers are getting sacked.
Yeah. The swing of the axe. So it looks like it goes Pellegrini to West Ham. Bit strange, that one, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Pellegrini, Jesus.
He's won the Premier League, sure he has, but so's Claudio Ranieri. Oh, you know, is he going to get the Everton gig?
I held that guy with quite a high respect, Pellegrini.
So did I.
And now he's gone to West Ham and that's just going to get a bit tarnished.
Zabaleta.
Ah, rekindling the spirits.
Maybe they'll sign Frank Lampard again.
Maybe they'll sign Yaya Toure.
They will definitely sign Yaya Toure. That's what'll happen.
The old dog.
That's what'll happen. Pellegrini will join West Ham.
Yeah, they're all back.
They'll pay the wages for Yaya Toure because it's a free transfer. Yeah, that's true. That'll happen. Everton, Marco Silva. That's a bit of an odd one too. I back Marco Silva because Soccer Saturday had a go at him,
Yeah.
But I don't know if he needs that Everton job now. I'd have given it to him 12 months ago. But remember how Watford nosedived? See me after class, Marco.
School's out.
School's out, and so is Allardyce. So we'll see how that one turns out. How much money do you have to spend as Everton manager, though, to be good? Because Allardyce actually didn't do that bad a job. He took over from Ronald Koeman's miserable reign, and they still, they were below Burnley, but everyone was below Burnley. They did an alright job in the end. They just apparently played dreadful football, but Christ, Mourinho does that. Might win a bloody FA Cup now.
Well, he might bloody have to.
Second best team in the league. Fact. Yeah.
What's Arteta doing?
Arteta's living the dream. He's following his heart, and I suppose following the dream.
Oh, no. It's not the right move, though.
Unless he gets a really strong assistant.
Yeah, but he is an assistant.
Yeah, I know.
Who is Arteta's assistant going to be?
I don't fucking know.
That's just going to nosedive.
Gail Clichy?
Yeah.
Phil Neville?
Oh.
Hi, Philip. The Premier League's best ever central midfield partnership. Phil and Mikel.
Phil Neville. Fresh from tweeting about what women should be doing in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah, wait, I just realised Phil Neville's the women's FA head coach, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair play to you, Phil.
No, well done.
Phil Neville scored twice
The Lionesses.
in the last 5 minutes. That won't be a running thing, by the way, if anyone's a new listener. Please do subscribe.
Stay tuned.
Leave a comment with your thoughts.
That was good.
It's true, though, isn't it? You know, share your opinions. It could be a nasty one. But don't make fun of our voices, because the podcast's called that in the first place. So, that's going to be water off a duck's back. Yeah. Ooh, your voices are a bit deep. Ooh, no, testosterone.
We just want
Stick
good
it to
conversation.
Christ. You know, a bit of feedback. Interaction.
Social media.
Don't want an echo chamber.
Is the internet a force for good, though?
No. No, it's not. The internet's a bad thing. I yearn for the days when men were men, yeah? Pirates were pirates, yeah? None of these Somali pirates. I'm talking about the real men, like Blackbeard. You know the ones who used to rape and pillage, and they used to fight, and they stunk?
Like when we had Sega on football shirts.
Yeah, those were the good pirates. The bad pirates were the Somali pirates. And that's when football was good, when shirts were shirts that were looser, and Batistuta was whacking it in, and he was an ugly man.
Yeah. I never even liked Captain Morgan's.
I didn't like Wes Morgan doing Captain Morgan's. But to be honest, I'll tell you what's this mysterious one. I can't give away my source here, but I do have a source that tells me that, Robert Huth has been out all season with a mystery foot injury and has now left Leicester. I have got a source that tells me that that's not quite what happened.
Oh, really?
And that it wasn't really a foot injury. I've not heard what it was, but it was a bit suspicious the way it all went down because it happened in about November, or in fact, I think it was earlier than that. It might have been October when they went. Yeah, Robert Huth, foot injury. Who has a foot injury? Do you mean a metatarsal? Do you mean an ankle? What's happened? Heel fracture?
Yeah, what is it?
No, it's his foot. Right, it's his foot then, and it's been his foot for the end of the season. He hasn't kicked a ball. And I think he was playing in the reserves for a bit. So there's something a bit odd that's gone on with Robert Huth.
Well, like he's got a show as well.
I don't know if he's annoyed someone or if he's kissed Craig Shakespeare. Could have done. Friendly. In some cultures, that's how you say hello.
Some say that'd be
a kiss.
Huth and Shakespeare. It's hardly Macbeth.
Poetic. So that'll be the game. Huth and Terry back together at last. The centre back for Villa.
Yeah.
Speaking of Villa, speaking of Terry, and speaking as we always do of the Premier League, what are your thoughts ahead of the playoff final? Well, obviously we'll do a feature closer to the playoff final, but having just watched the
immediate thoughts.
Yeah. What are your thoughts in the immediate aftermath of watching Fulham come through and watching Villa, battle through and hold on to a victory, really?
I see it as like the championship standard of Villa are like Man United. Mm-hmm. We've got Steve Bruce, who is very defensively minded.
Red.
And they seem pretty resolute at the back. John Terry.
Heading it.
Yeah.
Blocking it. Heading it with a block.
But Fulham look incredible.
World Cup. Fulham do look good. Do you know what I mean? The sand.
Yeah.
When everyone goes, Terry blocked it with his head. And he didn't block it with his head. He went for it with his head, but Matt Upson blocked that shot. Matt Upson blocked that shot, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Who was that against? America?
I can't remember. No, it was in the red kicks. Was it not against Germany? No, was it Poland?
I can't remember.
I think it was Poland because we had Algeria and the States in our group.
Yeah.
I think we had Slovenia in our group because I remember Robert Corran playing. And I think we drew with them as well. This might not be right, but I remember Defoe scoring against, I think, Poland. And I swear England were wearing red in that game, and I think that was the game.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'll block it with my noggin.
And everyone was like, yes, Terry.
Terry, that's the English way.
Like it was a good thing to do.
You should never be doing last-ditch shit like that, John.
Nesta never did that, man.
Nah, you won't find a shot of Nesta doing that. But listen, I'm not going to go at John Terry.
Let's get the picture up.
But yeah, I swear, it's Matty Upson who blocks that shot.
Oh, don't put Defoe versus Poland.
Terry Upson. That's probably a person. We'll get on LinkedIn. Yeah, there he is. Terry Upson. Terry block. Oh, come on.
Terry block with his head.
How's Terry block a person?
There we go.
It's Glenn Johnson who blocked it. Yeah, it's Glenn Johnson. Right. Hang on. So is that the Slovenia game?
He's completely horizontal off the ground.
Yeah, it's Slovenia. That's the game.
Yeah, good knowledge.
Zlatko Dedic takes a shot, as England's John Terry. So yeah, that ball went under John Terry and Glenn Johnson blocked it.
Absolute numbskull.
So that's what happened.
Look at what he's doing.
Put your left leg out, though. Anyone listening, just Google Terry block and go on images and you'll see exactly what we're talking about.
That's ridiculous. There's absolutely no way you think that's the best way to block that shot.
It's miles under his head, man. It's miles under his head. Look, it's on the ground. He's never headed that ball.
Because as well, right, you have to go on the ground, surely. You launch yourself to the deck. You don't just throw yourself horizontal in the air.
No, exactly, yeah.
3 foot off the ground.
So, who do you think's going to win the playoff final?
Fulham. I think Fulham are going to win. Like 1 or 2 now.
Okay.
I think they look much better than Villa.
They definitely did on the strength of those semis.
And apparently in the league, Fulham have just been the best team that didn't get promoted automatically.
Yeah.
It sounds like Mitrovic has had an incredible season.
Do you know how old Mitrovic is? He's much younger than I thought he was. That's nuts, isn't it? That goes about a foot under his head.
Oh, man.
And yeah, that's a great block from Glenn Johnson.
Yeah, it is. He moves his foot.
Because it's going in. There's no way, whoever it is, Rob Green, is getting near it. Look at that. He's going the other way.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Mitrovic is 23 years old.
Is he?
He looks about 50, doesn't he?
Wow.
23. He's a big guy. Big guy. Freaky. Like there was a picture of him next to Sessegnon.
Yeah. They did an interview together, didn't they?
Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, he's a big man.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's coming good after a tough first season at Newcastle.
Yeah.
I think Fulham will win. I think maybe 2-0 as well.
Yeah.
I think Mitrovic is just a beast, man.
Yeah.
Him and Sessegnon, they are just animals.
They're too good. I think they'll be fast.
And that Tom Kane, he's a solid player as well.
He looked good, didn't
The
he?
captain, he's a solid player. I think those three are a bit much.
We'll see. Grealish has looked good.
Yeah, I kind of hoped Villa would get promoted so he'd play in the Premier League again. Because I don't know if he would leave. I don't know if he'd leave Villa. Maybe he would leave Villa.
Maybe.
He seems to have kicked on this season. I wonder if he's got his eye on the prize now and he would go, yeah, I'd move to Leicester. I'd go to Leicester if he's with me.
Yeah.
Damari Gray did it from Birmingham.
That's all to be decided on the Champions League day as well.
Yeah, that's true. Going to be a hell of a night, that.
That's
hell of a night.
Big day of sports. Saturday 26th.
Had a lot to look forward to.
Make sure you watch, people.
Make sure you watch that. Make sure you watch the FA Cup final. But above all, I think I speak for both of us here. Make sure you watch and listen to the TV Watchers podcast.
Always.
Kyle Brooks.
Sunday.
Thanks very much.